Hey, everybody. We want to welcome you to the Counterpoise podcast. We are down a guy, but it's okay. He's out there taking care of his business. I am one of your co hosts. I am Samantha Adams, and I'm joined by my other co host.
Hey everybody, my name is Malik Foster, another co-host for the Counterpoints podcast.
So today, drum roll, boom. I don't know if I did that right, but either way, we got a good topic for you today. We're going to start off by talking about Donald Trump and what he got going on, and we're going to talk about Diddy. That's how we start, and then in the second half, we're going to transition into a different topic. So let's just kick it off. Let's start off with your boy Malik, Donald Trump.
Yeah, I could give you a little background about that. So with Donald Trump, there's it's a two-part situation here. The good news for him, I guess you could say, is he got his bond reduced, right? So instead of paying $545 million bond, it's 175 million. That's a cut by 68%. So that's tremendous for him. That's a win for him. He's saying that he can use some of those funds and money for his campaign
Hmm.
and other areas. Before he would say there would just be no money to do all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And he said, of course in New York, nobody's gonna want to do business in New York. They had to do something different, etc., etc. So he had to give it some more fluff, I guess, for lack of better words.
Yeah, so the thing about Donald Trump that gets me is how he like gets away with everything. And every time he gets away with something, it makes him more popular. It makes him
Well, he still has to pay
it
though. That's the good
continues
thing.
to feed his ego. Yeah, but 250K is something he can do, right? He got not so the thing about it is let's back up a little bit. If Donald Trump did not pay that bond, they were going to seize his assets, starting with his homes and buildings and things like that, his real estate.
It's
And
kind of like you owe $1,000 and somebody said, You know what? We're gonna reduce it by $680."
right, that's what they did. But the thing about it is, I'm just talking about how did he get here? What was it looking like? If he didn't pay that, he was going to lose his assets. They were going to garnish
Right.
it. And so what they did was they cut him some slack. And when I say cut him some slack, they reduced the bond that he was going to have to pay by more than half, by almost 70%, so that it was something that he could afford. That's just on one of his cases, though. Let's just be clear, right? That's just on
Well,
one of
this is
his.
the New York Civil.
That's just the New York one.
Yeah.
So it's going to be really interesting to see how this whole plays out. I was honestly surprised that New York cut him that slack, and I'm unsure why. Because if it was Pookie or Ray Ray, ain't nobody getting cut no slack. They got to
Well,
pay their fare.
well, you know what it is, Sam. He probably really pushed for appeals court and really got his lawyers on it because he probably got word that from the board and everything that's going on with his media company is starting to blow up. So it's increasing his wealth. So you don't want to have people tap into that. So if he can
That's
have
true.
it reduced, he can to something he can pay or something more manageable. That's a win
Yeah.
for him. Win for his new media company because his wealth skyrocketed is to like now like 6 billion they reported because before it was like 2 billion they were saying he was worth. Now he's worth 6 billion. So
But that
that's
mean he had it. That mean he had it. He could have went ahead and
well, they would have had to garnish a lot of his assets and everything like that. But yeah, he probably could have paid it. It's not.
yeah, he had it. He had the money.
But he would
Um,
have had to probably file bankruptcy and stuff like that.
That wouldn't be the first time. Donald Trump has filed bankruptcy at least 4 times. And honestly, what people don't know, oftentimes companies, you see businesses file bankruptcy in order to prevent themselves from having to pay money out in lawsuits. So just know that a lot of times when you see these businesses file for bankruptcy, yes, it could be because you know they um, they bankrupt, right? Or it's because they know that in paying that lawsuit, it will bankrupt the business or will harm the business. So what they'll do is they file bankruptcy to become judgment proof. So that way they don't have to pay that money. So with Donald Trump, he's definitely filed bankruptcy at least 4 times, at least. And
Well, yeah,
so
he wasn't gonna have somebody cover that bond. It's gonna be a lot. So now it's
yeah,
much more manageable. And plus, he's running for president, so he has a lot of going on.
yeah. So that's gonna be interesting to see. It's also gonna be interesting to see what happens with these cases if anything comes before election day, or you know what I'm saying? Because once he becomes president, everything gets put on pause. Just
Yeah.
want y'all to know that everything gets put on pause.
Did you check out his new platform, True Social?
I
Very interesting.
definitely did not check
Uh,
out his new
well, I
platform.
looked at it. It looks interesting, and
Of
I'm
course
like,
you,
it
of
looks
course
just
you.
like how like Facebook. What do you mean? Hey, you know. So
um,
it looks very interesting. I say the least.
yeah. I mean, I'll check it out just for edification purposes, and so I can be knowledgeable about what he got going on. But
It looks nice though. It looks well put together. So
I'm not
so
interested in voting for Donald Trump. I have my
I
I
was just
have
saying check out his
opinions on him.
social media platform.
Right now, I feel like Kanye. Donald Trump does not care about black people.
Oh, the same guy that was yucking it up with Republicans. I don't
Right,
know.
right. And Ebony, so for those of y'all out here in YouTube land that don't know, we are also on Instagram and I am on the Tag app. And so every now and then I'll look up or read the comments to the things that people are saying. And Eb said that he is selling Bibles. Like, really, dude? Like, remember that? He was selling Bible, he was out there holding out the Bibles. Um,
Hmm.
Donald Trump don't, right, Ben, he don't pay no taxes. Um, Now he's running right now. Alpha God said they said they did him dirty, so he can't run again. He is running right now. Honestly, my biggest thing for this upcoming election, I know it's not what we're talking about, is I want to know what they're going to do about inflation. Because me going to the grocery store and spending $100 and walking out the store with a bag and a half of stuff ain't it. We got to figure that out. That's not it. It's the same stuff. It's the same food, same size bags, same size. Like if I go get um a bag of chips, it's still the same, still the same amount of chips in the bag, still filled up with air, and it's costing more and more and more. That doesn't make any sense. All right, so back on topic. Um, the next thing we're going to talk about is your boy Diddy, aka Puff Daddy, Push Hummus in the Summer, aka Brother Love.
Did he do it or did he not?
I heard a comedian said, I don't know if he did it. I don't know if he didn't do it. I just know Diddy's in his name. So I don't
Somebody.
know. But what I do know is that's fine, Judah. What I do know is that the feds Department of Homeland Security have launched an investigation into Puff Daddy, seeing whether or not he did any not drug trafficking, sex trafficking. And they raided his home in Malibu and in Florida. And when they did that, they seized his computers and electronics and things like that. But Diddy bounced. Diddy bounced. He left his kids in the house. He left. He left. He got up out of there. He got up out of there. Sorry, I
Yeah.
gotta watch email. So, Malik, what you gotta say about that?
With Diddy, yeah, it's all been coming down on him. He had to get rid of a lot of his assets that he owned. He sold everything. I heard he sold Revolt to another African American. I'm not sure if that's true or not, but that's what they're saying. When he sold his ownership to that African American businessman. Um, I'm trying to think what else is there that you didn't cover about Diddy right now that we do know. I
So
mean, there's a lot of allegations surrounding him and stuff like
yeah,
that,
yeah.
but
So it's allegations.
we don't know exactly what they have on him because with the situation with Casey, he did settle that, so
Nasty.
that's wrapped up. And there's just a whole bunch of weird and suspect stuff of clips of people saying this, saying that, but we need more evidence to come out. I mean, obviously, maybe the feds have something which warrant them to do a raid, or they suspect him of having something, so we can see. Because there was rumors of him blackmailing a lot of influential people in the Hollywood entertainment space.
Yeah.
So
So there have been a lot of people. So Ebony made a good point. She said Jaguar. She said that Jaguar lady. I think she's talking about Jaguar, right? He's been saying things about Diddy for years. A lot of people have, right? It's not
mhm.
just like one or two people. A lot of people have been saying things about Diddy for a very long time. And I know that some people, I think it was God Alpha says he might. Wait, first he said not, just trying to destroy another black man, and everybody thinks it's funny. And then he also said he might be gay, but the man don't deserve that. Look, I don't
Well,
care if he's gay or
well, I'll,
straight.
I'll say this to that point of trying to destroy a black man.
Mhm.
You can't compare it to how they do treat other groups that are accused and alleged of doing such lucid acts and acts such sexual deviancy and stuff like that. They don't treat them like this, at least not to my understanding. So
Well, I think cancel culture plays a huge part, right? Because think about it. There was a huge difference, and we did a podcast on this. We did a comparison about how they treated um what's that movie producer man's name?
oh, Epstein.
No, Epstein wasn't not Epstein. Jeffrey Epstein was the other guy who killed himself in prison. Um
Who's the producer?
what's that guy's name? The guy who made the movies. Come on, guys.
Okay.
Weinstein. There we go. Thank you,
Harvey
buddy.
Weinstein.
Yeah, Harvey Weinstein. We
Yeah, his name sounds so
Yeah,
similar.
Epstein, well, I mean, they're both Jewish last names. You get a pass. So,
But
Harvey Weinstein, we compared him to how they treated him to how they did Bill Cosby. And we definitely talked about the parallels there and the differences, especially the differences. Um, because Harvey Weinstein was accused of doing very egregious things with a whole lot more people than Bill Cosby, and they
a lot more
drug
powerful people too.
Cosby. At least got out of prison. Weinstein gonna be there forever. So, but when I look at the situation with Diddy, I think number one, to the point that you were making with regards to the feds need to find out what's going on. And right now, they're doing the investigation. That's the reason why they did the raid. But they had to have some sort of probable cause. And I believe that that probable cause comes from the allegations that were made. Right. And so, and there has to be something else. We will not know what that thing is. And it might not come out till probably like trial.
Well,
If
what
it
somebody
really
is saying, this is not really any. This is just rumors, right? Hearsay, speculation, right, guys?
Mhm.
That maybe Diddy has some dirt on somebody or crossed some paths with somebody. He was trying to sue a big company over, I think, the deal with Ciroc and stuff like that. And maybe somebody got upset and said, "Hey, I got some stuff on you too, Diddy," and now we're seeing what's going on.
It's quite possible, but the thing about this Diddy case going to the point of trying to destroy another black man is what if all of it is not true? Now, I'm not going to sit here and say that it is all true or it isn't true because I have no idea. But I'm just playing devil's advocate here for a second. What if it's not true? And look at how he's being treated. Because we do
Yeah,
there is a presumption of innocence until proven guilty. And even though all these people are coming out the woodwork saying stuff, there hasn't been any evidence that he's done anything. All it's been is words. And so, he has been forced to have to do a lot of these things, sell his assets and bounce. Now that's on one side. On the other hand, he could just keep moving, doing like how he was doing, like R. Kelly did, right? And R. Kelly, whew, yikes. You know what I'm
Like like
saying?
like for example, what if it's just like, let's say, because obviously he probably most likely did something bad, but let's say he just like extorted some
Right,
people, held some blackmail. He didn't do anything with minors. He was just doing,
right.
you know, all
With
that stuff with
consensual
adults, right?
adults,
Yeah,
hypothetically,
like and he
allegedly.
faces up to maybe 1 or 2 years.
Hmm.
Like then it's like, you know,
Yeah, and see, that's the thing. Like a lot of the stuff that you hear, I think a lot of it is alleged to have been consensual. The problematic stuff is the things that when you start talking about extortion and things like that. So you Benny said he made some very valid point. The feds don't come knocking on your door for no reason. They don't. They have a 93% conviction rate. And what that means is they got something. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
They
but
got
it
they
ain't
got a head.
100. It's not 100. Innocent till proven guilty. It's
You are
not
innocent until proven guilty, but
100.
they don't come knocking at your door with nothing. You see
They
what I'm
get an A
saying?
on the test, but
Just
they
because
still
you
get
have
you straight.
something, hold on, let me make this point and make it very clear. Just because you have something doesn't mean that it rises to the level of being enough. You see what
Right.
I'm saying? It might not be enough. Just because something looks one way doesn't necessarily mean that that's what it is when you start digging. Because things can always look one way on the surface, right? Think about it. Anybody here, anybody out here on YouTube, anybody here on Instagram, anybody here on Tag, we've all been prejudged at some point in our lives. You know what I'm saying? Somebody's looked at us, made a judgment, and treated us a however kind of way just based on how we look, because that's what things look like on the surface. And when you dig deep, you can find out a multitude of things. You can find out maybe this person isn't as bad as I thought that they were, or you could think, oh my God, this is a terrible person. I had no idea. You see what I'm
Mhm.
saying? So I think when you're talking about the situation with Diddy, it's really important to keep that in mind. But what I don't like, what I'm not okay with, is the fact that he bounced and left his children. Like,
Yeah,
he
yeah,
bounced.
that makes it look so much worse. Like they might have a bunch of stuff on him where he really did do something he wasn't supposed to be doing, obviously.
Yeah, yeah. Why you leave your babies, man? Why you leave your babies? And now instead of being out here saying pause anytime they say something, now they like no Diddy.
That's just funny, man. No
And shout
Diddy.
out to the homie Mason Betha. He was on his show with Cameron,
It is
and
what it is.
he definitely dropped that no Diddy line
Yeah,
today.
that's funny.
He's like some pause, no Diddy. I was like, but you know, Mason knows stuff. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying he knows whether or not there was sex trafficking and all
I
that, but he
mean,
definitely
people
knows
know how
about the
he like to
lifestyle.
get down. You know what I mean? And then there's reports that
Right.
his lady was in on some drug stuff. So it's all coming down. But like I said earlier, I think somebody really got pissed off with Diddy, and Diddy was trying to really mess with the wrong person. They say, you know what? I got a lot of you, Diddy.
It's possible, but it
Because
could have
like
been
certain stuff is coming out like this. I'm like,
Cassie started the whole thing. It came out of
somebody's
nowhere.
snitching.
It came
Somebody's
out of
snitching.
nowhere with Cassie. And so who knows? And
But I
Ebony
feel like
makes a
somebody
good point.
outside of her is snitching. You know what I mean? I think somebody
Yeah,
outside of her,
yeah.
because I don't think
That's
she knew
true.
everything that's going on. She
I
just
mean, we
wanted,
don't know. We don't know.
she
People
just
could have
wanted,
paid.
she just wanted to get her little cut of the pie. I
But
get,
people could have paid. I mean, she could be speaking her truth, but either way, people could have paid her. You see what I'm saying? So there's no
yeah,
telling. We don't know the ins and outs. We have no
yeah. We're
idea.
just
We're not even.
speculating here,
We're
just
just
making
speculating.
guesses.
And Ebony makes a good point. Him leaving is wild, especially since Kim Porter died. Right. So Christian and the twins, their mom is gone. Like you just bounced.
Right? It just looks bad all around.
Yeah, it's rough. That's rough. 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 And so Yeah, I just wish he had chose better as it related to his children. He could have
But
brought his
yeah,
kids.
we'll just stay updated on that situation, and if something new develops, we're talking about, we'll talk about it.
Yeah. So now we're going to transition into the next subject. Next section is what would you do, right? So we have three little situations that we're gonna try to get in there, and y'all tell us what you would do, right? So the first one was one I saw. You're married. Let's say you're married. Okay, you are married. Your significant other. So if your significant other in one of your parents, whichever parent is of the same sex as your significant other, they don't really get along. They don't get along, and so one day they're in the house together and they start arguing, and then your significant other puts their hands on your parent. What do you do? Whose side you taking? What's happening? Like, so if you are married and it's your wife and she smacks your mom, that sounds crazy, right? Or if you're a female and your husband smacks your dad, what are you doing? How you handling it? What you thinking? What's going on? So
Right.
you guys go ahead and let me know in the comments if you want to get in the regular box. You feel free to go ahead and tap that button. You got big problems. I know that's right. What you got, Malik?
Well, I mean, I think it is circumstantial. Unfortunately, generally speaking, you gotta look at your spouse like they're crazy. But I think you gotta weigh the situation. Like, has your mom gone crazy? Is your mom threatening children in a certain way? Like, there could be a legitimate reason for her to get her hands put on her. Like, if she's threatening somebody's life, a child's life, like, those are the only ways I could let that slide. Like, if you feel like imminent bodily harm is gonna come towards you or the
Nah,
children.
I mean she just hauls off and slaps moms. Like
Oh, if she just slapping mom for no reason,
arguing, she just hauls off and just
okay, well, so yeah, that's where you gotta check her. That ends the relationship there. You can't be just slapping parental figures like that.
you said that ends your relationship. You're married. You're not dating.
I don't know how the relationship could recover. She's just hitting people. Who's
She just
who's
hit
next?
you.
Who's next? I'm not gonna wait around to be the next victim.
All
I'm
right.
out
So
of
I got
here.
I got somebody in the box up here and tagged. Oh, it's
All right,
Nat.
cool.
Nat, you're not gonna answer the question. Listen, baby, I'm gonna come talk to you in a few minutes, okay? So, all right. So the comments over here on tag say, oof, almost ended the whole thing. It says, Eb said, "Don't disrespect my parents, just like you wouldn't want me to disrespect yours." Period. God Alpha says, because at the end of the day, you got to leave your parents to start your own family. Very true. Benny said, "Somebody smacked my mother. It's a fight." Because we're in the middle of doing a podcast now. Eb said it should never get to that level to begin with. All right. So boom.
Right,
Here's
exactly.
here's my take. I agree with Ebony as it relates to it should never get to that level to begin with. But if it does get to that level, I actually agree with God Alpha because you are now one with that person. You guys are a bigger whole, and to a degree, Malik, I agree because it is situational. But I think the response is going to be different for a man versus a woman, right? As a woman, I'm not getting in the middle of that. I'm not getting in the middle of two men fighting. I'm not doing that, right? Because now
Mhm.
my father, who has raised me and everything, is now beefed out with my husband, who's my covering. He's my covering, and so I think a conversation is gonna have to be had. I'm gonna have to have a conversation with my husband. I'm gonna have to have a conversation with my dad. They're gonna have to have a conversation with each other. But the reason why I feel like I would have to have a conversation because they both mean so much to me. And
Mhm.
you know, for me, it would feel like you all both should have enough respect for me to not allow it to get that far. You know what I'm saying? And I honestly might be upset with both of them. I would, because how is it that y'all are even in this place?
Like I just couldn't picture like a woman slapping a parental figure. Like there's no reason why you should do that unless it's to protect like yourself or your children. Like I don't understand why you would
And
do
I'm
it.
not talking about in terms of self defense or defending
Yeah, that's what
others.
I'm saying. Like I can't think of anything else. Like why would you be doing that? Like why
Some
would it?
people are rowdy.
Like one of the
Some people got
people
it
on
about it,
chat
man.
said, like why would it even
You know what I'm
come to
saying?
such a
Some people
situation
got it about it.
like that?
So
Yeah, yeah, that's true, and
I don't.
that's why I said what I said. I don't want to be the next victim of your anger. I don't want things getting out of control.
But
The
the thing
current
about it
environment.
is, but you're looking at it based on role, right? But sometimes it is based on role to a degree. But also too, you're talking about two women having a fight. But still two grown women.
Hey, if she can put her hands on that woman, she can put her hands on me, and I'm not tolerating it.
I don't know if that's necessarily the truth though, right? Just
It's
because two
not
women.
necessarily true, but that's just how I'm looking at it. I'm not saying it's an absolute, but it's a
Mhm.
possibility. Like, okay, she loses her cool with this lady, she slaps her, or she did it to me. Like,
But also too, if here's my other thing. If you have a mother and a wife that that at odds with one another, the husband did not step in, right? He when that happens, the husband at some point has to step in to remind the mother of her position in his life and his wife's position in his life. He has to talk to both of them and
yeah,
let
if he's present, he has to try to diffuse the
he
situation.
has to
But
manage that.
if he's not, I don't even know how you handle that. Like, oh, she
Yeah,
slapped me.
like because at that point,
That woman
your
just
absenteeism is the cause of the whole is how it escalated. So
right.
like for a woman though, it's a little different because men
Hmm.
don't fight the same way, right? But if it is a situation where daddy is not letting go, daughter's gonna have to say, "Daddy, now you gave me away," right?
Hmm.
Not in a sense like you just gave me away, but this is what we this is how this is happening. Because I'll tell you now, as a man, if your wife, daddy, if your wife was if you were having problems with your wife's father, you wouldn't want that, and you wouldn't want him coming at you like how you're coming at him, because this is another grown man. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? And so sometimes something got to be said. I would, I mean, I'm not ever gonna have that problem because God bless the dead, my daddy's gone. But you know what I'm saying? I just, it's crazy. Nobody should be putting their hands on anybody. I agree with you 100% when it comes to that, Malik. But yeah, I gotta go get in the car because I gotta go home to my husband because that's who I
Because,
married.
I mean, there's a lot of healing and therapy. I mean, fractured families. Then it's the mom against the wife, or the husband against
Hmm.
whatever that other significant other is. Even if it's like, say, if it's a men fighting, like you know what I mean. Like it's gonna cause a fracture within the family unit, which is like
Yeah.
irreparable damage in some cases, like that type of
Mhm.
fighting, especially if it comes to a physical altercation. Verbal
Yes.
altercations are already worse, as bad enough as it is. So, you know, of, of actual physical altercation, that's just going to make things even worse.
Yeah. So then, all right, let's transition into the next one. The next one is let's say, what would you do? What would you do if you could view your significant other's dreams? You know what I'm saying? Like, so if I could compare it to anything, it's like checking their cell phone. If you had the ability to see your significant other's dreams, would you?
Oh, oh, sorry, excuse me. Yeah, I mean, I would like to just see how what other people think about. So I would want to peek like at least once or twice just to see what's going on. After that, I'll just let my imagination run, but just see how it is. Like, if we had like a little recording device and we could see, like, watch it, like, let's see what you really be thinking on the television, and just be shot. Like, so this is what you be thinking, huh?
Eb said yes, Nashawn said yes, of course. But Nashawn also said the thing that I was getting ready to say. Oh, y'all nosy.
Hey,
Nosy.
we like
Like,
entertainment.
let me ask y'all this. That y'all the type to go through your significant other's phone though?
Yeah, y'all want to be like, hand me that phone. It's like, hand me that dream.
You're gonna see how weird their imagination can be. I won't go through the phone, but you want to see the dreams. Okay. So are you getting mad at them if they dream about somebody other than you?
Yeah, that's true. What if like you watch them dreaming and they're like having a romantic moment with somebody that's not you? That's
Yeah.
pretty bad. But it happens.
I don't think you don't think that there should be locked phones in the shine.
There's a lot of dreams. No
Maybe it
lost
should
dreams.
be.
No
I
lost
lock
dreams.
my I lock my phone. I lock my phone. I lock my phone. But I would give my significant other the password.
Unlock your dreams. Unlock your dreams.
So the reason why I lock my phone is because I am a lawyer and I have privileged information on my phone. So
Oh, that's a beautiful excuse.
it is the truth though. It is the truth. Because honestly, that stupid password stuff is aggravating. I just
Remember,
want to.
fellas, these ladies always got more than one phone, so
I do have two phones. My significant
per-
other can have the passwords, everything,
everything. Oh,
phones, email, everything,
the dreams
everything. Because
too.
if something happens to me, somebody got to get in there.
What about the dream Sam? Can you have
Yep,
can you watch your dreams? Okay.
he can
Oh.
watch my dreams. I don't want to see his though.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, that's true. Women and men tend to think a lot differently about the same stuff. So, you know, it- you know, feelings
yeah,
will be hurt. I think.
like I'm not denying access to none of that because I don't have anything to hide. I'm not out here doing dirt. You know what I'm
But
saying?
but I
So
think most people just think about like their goals and aspirations, like, oh, I want to do better, or they might think about a loved one that passed or something.
dreams be crazy. Okay, I have very vivid dreams,
Getting attacked or something. I don't think
my
it'd be
dreams,
anything like
my
that
dreams
will
be
harm the
coming true
relationship.
sometimes.
Yeah, I think
So
most people dreaming wouldn't harm their relationship. Like if you're getting chased or attacked, like nobody's gonna be like, "Oh, dang, that was a crazy dream. That was a
yeah,
good
like
dream."
I'm waking up like, what the hell? And then also too, I remember one time I was dating this guy and he had a dream that I was talking to his homeboy and he woke up mad at me.
Ready to fight.
Like, how you mad at me because you dreamed something? I wasn't there in real life. I didn't have nothing to do with
Yeah,
that.
yeah, those be the most intense dreams. Like maybe like you feel like you're about to die, or you're getting attacked. You wake up sweating. It's just like,
Yeah, like yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. So, at the end of the day, I think I mean, if it's my significant other, he can have access to my dreams. I'll take access, but I don't really want to see.
yeah, no, anybody can have access to
I'm
mine.
cool. I'm
I don't
cool.
really
My
be
dreams is
thinking about
crazy
what.
enough.
It's pretty boring over here, so enjoy.
Yeah, I'll be having some crazy. Reminds me, I gotta look up what apples mean in the dream. I had a dream about
Yeah,
apples.
me and my boy in here. Had me
All right.
reading a book and flipping through papers.
So the last what would you do scenario is, let me make sure I say this right because this was suggested by our good other co-host Everett who's not here. Um it says, should you pay child support when you're splitting custody of your child? And does it matter if they are remarried and the funds are used to help the new household and the children that new household produces? Alpha just said no.
Yeah, I agree. Why? Yeah, it
Yeah,
should
no.
it should be like definitely like alimony. It should be cut off like when she remarries.
No, it shouldn't because the
It
kid's still
should
there. It's
be.
still your kid.
It
It's still
should
your
be.
kid.
It should
It's
be.
still your kid.
Well, give me full custody then.
No, it
Eh,
don't work like
See
that. The
what
kid
I'm
needs
saying?
both their
See
parents.
what I'm saying? You say it don't work like that. We're talking
It
about
don't.
hypothetical situations. They can work
Here's
how we
what I
want
think.
them to,
Let me
Sam.
let me give you let me give you a better resolution. First of all, children need both their parents, so no child support should not be cut off.
You're thinking
Um,
about too much of the statutes. Don't think
no,
statutes. Think
but
justice.
I think I think I think there should be an accounting for child support.
Counting. You
Yeah, I think there should be an accounting for child support. So what that means is that when somebody pays their child support, every penny should be accounted for, just like you do your taxes.
Yeah, I think there needs to be some sort of maximum number. Or like, I mean, $20,000 a month. Like, come on. Especially if they remarried. That's why I'm like, all right. At that point, you don't need the child support and the girlfriend support or whatever it is. Like, come on, that stuff should be done.
So, God Alpha said child support should only be for people who don't want kids at all. I do not agree with that. The reason why I don't agree with that, God Alpha, is because it's people that trap people, try to trap people. So it's
Mhm.
like um, they would just have the baby just, excuse me, for the sake of getting a dollar, and that's not fair. You know what I'm
So,
saying?
Sam, you think if they split, they should, somebody should pay still?
Child support, yeah, because they both gotta raise the kid. The kid needs financial support just as much as they need other support, and the financial burden should not
So,
be
so, so,
on one
so who do
parent.
you determine who should pay? Like, I mean, if they're both paying
I
each other,
think that they should both be contributing to the child equally because they both equally had that baby.
so what you're saying is like maybe they both contribute to a fund, and that fund is used exclusively for that child's needs.
Yeah, but obviously you have to balance out like who makes more money. So if the one person makes more money, of course they got to
Yeah, yeah, you prorate it.
contribute more, right?
Like you
But
prorate it, like this portion of your income and this portion of her income.
right,
So
right, not necessarily everybody put in $100, but it's
yeah,
based
yeah,
on
yeah.
income and
Hmm.
what you need, kind of like how it is now. But it should definitely be if you're splitting custody,
Kind of
the
like ties to the church. Everybody's contribution is not going to be the same based off of how much wealth
right,
and income they're generating. Yeah.
right, and it should be accounted for to show that it's actually going to the child and not for her to go get her nails did and for him to go buy some new sneakers
Yeah,
on the
that's
side.
why I said like the fund, like okay, there's this
Yeah,
account and that's where the money is pulled from.
yeah,
You
but
know.
that requires a lot more resources, more accountants, stuff like
Yeah,
that, like stuff that
because
don't
people
exist.
people
This is
find it
all in a perfect
abusing
world,
it,
y'all.
and you would have to have like somebody audit them if they're messing up
Yeah,
or if they're
exactly,
split.
exactly,
I mean, it
exactly.
would create
And
more
then the audit,
jobs
and you don't want to be like just forcing audits all the time because people are just mad, bitter, and it got
and
to be.
pay.
It would actually have to be like a process and all that. So, um, Ebony said, "I don't want to answer because I have child support order, and he pays it when he feels like it." Like that. The courts do keep up with how much he has been paid out has been paid out. They do, and also too they know if it's not because child support keeps track of that, and if they don't pay and you file the charge, then jail time, which is stupid because how's somebody gonna go to work to make payments if they're in jail? But that's my own little personal gripe, despite the fact that I mean I am a criminal defense lawyer. I do get abandonment charges all the time, but I think that charge is dumb.
What
That's
about the part if they're remarried? Like I'm
So
definitely.
if they're remarried, I don't think it should get cut off because it's still
I
their
think it
kid.
should still be. They should still be paying.
Yeah, that's still your kid. Your kid don't get cut off because alimony is totally different in my eyes. Like alimony is all right. You're not married no more, and then to this person, and then
Yeah.
you're getting money, and then you
But
remarry.
but
But
that's the new alimony now, Sam. You
yeah,
know.
no, I think that no,
That's
because
the
that
new
child
alimony.
support. That's why I say I think there should be an accountant because child support should go to the kid. But the thing about it is when you remarry, no, it shouldn't get cut off. May should they potentially depending on what the other what the new spouse contributes to the child, should the amount of child support being paid change? Yes. Right? because that changes the needs in the house. Whether that person is contributing or not contributing, that definitely plays a role, right? So I think that should be considered, but I don't think that child support should be cut off, and I don't think this is the new spouse should be required to pay child support for a kid that's not technically theirs. So,
But
um, and
the reason why I think it should be cut off is because you're remarrying, and that new man has signed up to take care of you and all that you
that
come with,
no, Malik, but
and you
that's the
come with
thing.
child.
That's the
So since
thing.
he signed up for
Oftentimes,
that, that
nah,
is his responsibility to take care of you and his household. And if that
no,
child is
it's
in that
not.
household, then he has to be
Malik, do
responsible.
you know how often people remarry and the spouse doesn't take care of the child? That
That's
happens
true.
a lot.
Yeah, it does happen a lot where that person is neglect,
Yeah,
like
and
the
then
child is
so
neglected
then
by
if
the
you're not
stepmom
contributing
or
to
the step parent.
the raising your, and not only that, there's a plenty of parents out there that don't want other people paying for their kid and taking care of their kid. You see what I'm saying? Because that's their responsibility. Like you're not paying for and taking care of your child financially. That's your child, especially if you're an active parent. Talking about where split custody is happening.
Well,
You
no
should
one,
definitely
no, well,
put
the thing
your
is,
child.
Sam, no one's gonna stop you from trying to help your child per se, especially from a financial aspect. It's like, hell, why do you give this child money, right? No one
But
usually stops you
I
from that.
think, but no, and
But
I don't think it's the responsibility of some other person to take care of your child unless they choose to take on
me
that
neither.
responsibility.
But I don't think you should still
And
have to
marriage is
keep
not the
being
requirement, it's not
involved
a
like that.
prerequisite to be taking on the responsibility. What takes is
I know, but I'm just tired of people abusing something, and it has to be some type of cutoff somehow.
there is a cutoff, the age requirement for the kid, but I think that they need to monitor.
He said the age requirement. Well,
Yeah,
thank goodness for the years.
yeah, when they're
Right?
18 or 23 or whatever the year is from that state.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know. I just know 21. That's the longest I know about. I don't know.
So do I
And
think?
then there's the back pay. Like if you were ducking and dodging, you can still be paying, and the children are 30, 40 years old. But
Right.
that's another story.
So God asked me whether or not I think a man can trap a woman with a kid. Yes,
Oh yeah,
absolutely,
that's true.
absolutely. Chino, no, not right now. You gotta wait.
Mm,
Yes, absolutely. A man can trap a woman with a kid just like a woman can trap a man. Um, I absolutely think that. And then Ebony
um,
said, but the child's biological parent should be responsible whether the other parent gets remarried or not. I agree with that, Ev. Um, And then God Alpha said he thinks the age cutoff should be 15. I don't.
he said 15.
It's
Why
18
15?
in Texas unless they go to college. That's how it is in most states.
Yeah,
But
it's usually
the
like
woman
18 to
decides,
21.
but that doesn't necessarily. So let me paint you a picture for a second. Alpha, God Alpha, okay? Bob and Mary, these are my two fake people all the time. Bob and Mary, right? So Bob and Mary get pregnant. Bob, let's say Bob wants Mary to get pregnant. Mary don't want to get pregnant. But Bob gets her pregnant. Let's say the birth control fails one way or another, whether she's taking the pill, whether they're using condoms, whatever. It fails. She gets pregnant. Especially to, let's say she's in one of these states where you can't get an abortion after 4 weeks. Guess what? Most women don't even know they're pregnant at 4 weeks. They don't even know they're pregnant. So then she lives, they don't make a lot of money, right? They don't make a lot of money. So it's not like they can just hop on a plane and go travel someplace else. And then if that state finds out they travel somewhere else for an abortion, there's all these other ramifications, right? So she gets pregnant. She finds out she's pregnant. She's 6 weeks pregnant. She can't get an abortion. Now she has to have the baby. She has to have it. You see what I'm saying? She's not going to go to one of these backdoor doctors so she can lose her ability to have children later on. Because even though there are women out there that don't want to have kids, that doesn't necessarily mean that they want to sterilize themselves either,
Right.
right? Because there are a lot of other issues that contribute to what happens after that, as far as hormones, hormonal imbalances, things like that. Doesn't mean that happens to every woman, but there's potential there. So when you talk about that, you got to think about the fact that a woman can also be trapped, especially in this day and age where they're taking away a woman people's right to choose to whether or not they want to have kids, even though it goes to one of your fundamental rights as a citizen of the United States. Um, so okay, now I'll call you in a little while. So God Alpha says, I thought women know exactly when she gets her. So let's say she has her pick. No, some women. There are many women out here who, thank you, Midnight, whose period is irregular. So if you have an irregular period for whatever reason, maybe you have a hormonal balance, maybe you have ovarian issues, maybe you have uterine issues. If your period is not regular, guess what? You could have got pregnant and you didn't know. Maybe your period comes every few weeks, maybe it comes every few months. Sometimes you don't know. You see what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? And so it's absolutely possible. And then other things have the ability to affect your menstrual cycle, like stress. Stress by itself can knock you off your calendar. So, like Ebony said, exactly, she was 3 months pregnant before she even knew because she had other medical issues going on. You see what I'm saying? And so, a lot of times when people start messing with women's productive stuff, they have no idea what other ramifications come behind that. And so, it's important to understand, have a full understanding of what that looks like. So, just because you miss a period doesn't mean you're pregnant. Because you can miss a period and not be pregnant. You can miss a period and be pregnant. You see what I'm
That's
saying?
true.
So it's just important to have that understanding. And you make those choices. And then also too, some women make those choices based on their own faith and their religion, right? Some people don't believe in abortion. And so it doesn't necessarily have to be a situation where it's like, oh, and think about it. If you're a person that doesn't believe in abortion and you use birth control, you did the things to prevent having a kid and you get pregnant anyway, then what are you gonna do? You know? That's actually not true at all. I have a family member who missed her period. I got it, Ebony. She missed her period and she went to the doctor and they told her she was not pregnant. How about that? And that happened for about 3 months. As a matter of fact, they started telling her it was other things. They said it was kidneys, all this other stuff, and gave her medication for these issues that they thought it was, when in actuality, she was just pregnant. It was none of the things that the doctor said.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not that she's not taking care of herself. There's so many other factors. It's not black and white. It's actually some of the best doctors in the world because every woman's body is different and the human body is very, very complicated. Especially too, if you're taking a blood test and you're taking urine tests and they're coming back negative, getting false positives or false negatives or whatever. That happens.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, you got to be more understanding and understand that you got to have grace for circumstances like that because things have the potential to move differently in all these different circumstances. So, did you have anything else that you wanted to add, Malik, before we get into the
Um,
it?
nah, that's it. I think you
Okay,
covered that stuff pretty well.
okay. So we are going to jump into the Black Book of the month. This month, the Black Book is
I got
the.
it.
You got it? Okay.
Yeah. So the Black Book of the Month is what I'm currently reading, which I'm almost done with. The Black Wealth Choice by Dennis Kimbro. It's the Secrets of Black Millionaires. So it's a lot of stories about different Black millionaires, especially African Americans throughout the country. So it's a very good read. We talk about um the inventor of the Super Soaker, talks about Steve Harvey, so talks about lawyers, inventors, entertainers, athletes. So it's not just you know um, entertainment, right? Music. So it's inventors, entrepreneurs, entertainers. So it's a very good book.
And then the Black Business of the Month is called Jackson Soul Food. It's based out of Miami, Florida. You guys make sure you guys go check it out when you're in the Miami area. It is a Black-owned business, and we're trying to support our folks.
All right. The quote. I have the quote for you guys. So the quote is everything you ever wanted is on the other side of the other side of fear. Excuse me, and that quote's by George Adair. And that quote really speaks to me because sometimes you want to do something, maybe you do a business venture, maybe go move to a new city, maybe do try new interesting adventures or whatever you want to do, right? But what's stopping you, holding you back, is fear. So everything you want in life is here for you, but you just gotta move past that fear. So that's why I wanted to choose that quote for today.
Yeah, amen to that. Well, that's going to conclude our Counterpoise podcast. We really hope that you guys enjoyed it. Um, Make sure you tap in with us next Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for our next episode of the Counterpoise podcast. I am one of your co-hosts. Again, I am Samantha Adams. Everett Stevenson is not here with us. If you ever want to tap in with me on the socials, you can go ahead and you can give me this. Please like, share, subscribe to the YouTube first and foremost, right there, right? And also, too,
Yeah.
we do this thing live on YouTube, so you are more than welcome to come give us a view. Come check us out when we're live on YouTube. And so if you want to follow me, you can follow me at Samantha Renee 77 ESQ on Instagram or Samantha ESQ underscore counterpoise. For Everett, it's that guy 2104 or CP underscore EV.
Right. So you guys can reach me at Malik underscore counterpoise. That's my counterpoise Instagram. And then if you want to reach me in all other platforms, it's Malik M. Foster on all social media handles.
Yeah, so again, make sure you tap in with us next Wednesday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We look forward to seeing you then. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We love and appreciate y'all. Y'all make sure y'all are good to one another and y'all have a good rest of y'all's week.
All right, guys. Love y'all and be safe. Peace.